actually record. Yeah, so thank you for joining. So far, it's just us two here today. But before we start, actually, I've got some good news. It's the fact that recently we've been discussing, well, I've been marketing Age of In Time or this platform all over. And next week, I've got quite a few meetings lined up with possible clients who need marketing done for them because they like the idea of what we're doing and they would like us to market for it. So that being said, that I'm just preparing the people watching this and also you, right? Preparing them for you guys right now to tell you that in the future or in the near future, you might be picked on to be marketing and running campaigns for these clients. However, not everyone will be picked on because most of these clients are international from African diaspora. So they're from the Western side of communities of Australia's, the US, the Europes, they're all from there. So their standards are extremely, extremely high. So that means, although we're training and all these workshops and the designs which we ask you guys to give to us are all in the training of helping you get to that level, and it's possible. And even right now, we're designing templates for you guys. So instead of creating from scratch, you just use the design templates to also help you reach that sort of standard so you can start attracting more international clients. So even though this is being done, not all of you right now are getting the same opportunity because we would have to, because there are a couple of factors to take into account. There's factors like quality. For example, if people are frequently posting, like sending us designs and improving each time, and they're showing that they're willing to learn and they're attending every single session, these sort of factors kind of weigh in when it comes to who would favor, who we trust more to take on the job. So the more you're willing to learn, the more you interact, the more you grow, the higher the chances of you getting more job opportunities in the long run. So that was just something which I wanted to say. It's very exciting. So hopefully the ones watching this and the ones in the workshop right now are also excited and should continue doing and continue selling the designs and continue doing the good works. Now, for today's workshop, we're kind of extending last week's. So last week's we spoke about the marketing strategy, the level 1, level 2, level 3, and how level 1 is an engagement-driven post, level 2 is essentially a call to action, and level 3 involves the email marketing techniques. Sorry. These are terms which I'll be frequently using in emails, in our discussions, so then we can get more used to this lingo. So for this week, we're going a bit deeper. We're looking at how we can incorporate custom audiences, Facebook pixels, and lookalike audiences into the strategy and where they come in. And also why they're very handy and very useful. So we'll start off by, let's go to mine. I'm going to share the screen. Share the screen. Share. Can you see the screen? I'm assuming we can all see the screen, and the ones that can see the screen. Okay, so yeah, first of all, we need to go to Ads Manager before we can even, yeah. Okay. So now this is probably a interface which you're quite familiar with. But today we're going to go to, instead of Ad Manager, we're going to go to where's the audiences. Because it's here in the audiences where you can start creating your custom audiences. So normally when, when you're creating an ad and you want to put down which country, the demographic, and all that stuff, it's called creating an audience. I'm pretty sure some of you are very familiar with that sort of terminology, create an audience. And sometimes you can use an already saved audience or a custom audience. Now, what makes custom audiences so good and so helpful is the fact that they're not anymore they're not defined as a cold audience, but they're defined as a hot audience. So an audience which they already know your brand. So if they were to say it again, they would most likely remember the previous ad or the previous post which they engaged with, which is good because they say sometimes for anybody to actually remember fully, remember fully your business and what you do, you need to see it at least 7 times. You need to see their content at least 7 times for you to remember who they are and what they do. And this is why custom audiences can be so helpful. Because what we can do here is, let's say, go create an audience. We want to create a custom audience. And in the strategy, the custom audience comes after the level 1. So you made your level 1 ad or post, or campaign for level 1. Now the custom audience comes afterwards. And this is how we're going to use it. So you click custom audience. Yeah, it's going to give you a list. And it says here to connect. So connect with people who have already shown an interest in your business or product. So why this is very good is, for example, let's say we created a video, like the ad was a video of something happening, it was very nice, level 1 ad, and you want to capture those people that only watch the whole duration of the video, because that would mean that they like what you do and they like your brand, because they wouldn't watch a whole video if they didn't like it. So custom audience video. Next, choose content type. Now here, this is where you can distinguish between what type of person do you want? Do you want someone who's only watched 25%, 50, 75, who've at least 10 seconds, or at least 15 seconds? Most of the time for the funnel, you want the people who have at least engaged 75 or higher. That's the best. So actually, we'll probably just go with 95. Here, they'll go to choose a video. Let's see what our videos. Yes. Let's say we chose this video. Confirm. Then you set the number of days. So essentially what this would mean, that video came from an ad which is running. So the video I chose was a campaign which had a video installed into it. So now all this is doing is after I create the audience name, let's say level 1 video, CT CA for custom audience. Retention, you have how many days, number of days people remain in the audience. Let's say for the whole year, that's fine. Create the audience. Thank you. So now it's seen that says it's availability and it's ready. So what I have to do is, now for this video, for the video which I chosen here, now for the video which I chose in there, each time someone goes all the way through to 100% or 95%, they'll be saved in this audience, the one we just created. They'll be saved. So each time someone does it, they'll be saved, it'll be saved, it'll be saved. And those people then become what you call a hot audience. Now, what's like really good about this is once you've accumulated enough people in that audience, let's say it needs to be about 100 to 500,000 people in this one audience. You can then, which is now amazing, you can now then create an ad using that custom audience. But we won't go through this process because that might take a little bit longer. So we're not going through that currently right now. But with that custom audience you just created, it could then prompt you to create a level 2 post using that audience. If that makes sense. So for the person who just joined, thank you for joining. We're just going in detail of what we discussed last week and how with the level 1, level 2, and level 3 posts. If you haven't seen the last week's workshop, it's on YouTube, so do also watch it as well. And now we're going in detail to look at how custom audiences, lookalike audiences, and how to use Facebook Pixel all in the strategy to drive more traffic to the client's page. Oh, sorry, the client's business. So now we're in the first step talking about how to use custom audiences. And we said you use custom audiences after you've created a level 1 post, and now you want to get the people who have engaged. Because not everybody's going to engage with your post, but you want to capture the people who do. And that's the amazing power of custom audiences, is they'll capture those people and they will then become a hot audience, an audience which will most likely remember you the next time they see your brand. So now after you've made the custom audience, you then run a campaign using that custom audience. Now you then take them to level 2. So this custom audience here, I'll use it for a level 2 campaign. So this is where it'll be a call to action. So I'll be telling these people who are just created to do something, whether it's to go onto the site, whether it's to book a free consultation, a demo, whatever it is, I'm calling them to do it. So now that's great. I've called them and now they have got onto the site, some of them, but we need to track them to see what they do on the site, because that's very, very useful. Because we need to see how these potential customers are navigating through the client's website. That way we know if the number of people engaging, the number of the stats saying, okay, if X amount of people go in about this amount of people actually booked the consultation. And what helps us with that is something called Facebook Pixel. Now, let me show you how the Facebook Pixel actually looks like. So you go to here, you go to Events Manager. Actually, we have already created a pixel called Attribute Times Pixel. But to create one for yourself, it's very easy. You go to Connect Data Source. Or you can create one pixel per apologies, right? Let's go to switch to Connect Data Source. You then go to Web. This just shows, it depends what you want to track. If you want to track people going to the app or going offline traction, you choose those ones, but most likely, okay, you're going to want to track the ones going to a website and show the activity on the website. So connect. Here you do conversion APIs and web. So here you have a choice, connection method. I personally prefer Facebook Pixel just because there's more, the interaction is, there's more interaction and there's more, and I find it a bit more simpler to actually use and really implement straight away. Say the Facebook Pulse Connect. Just press here, it's telling you what it does. You do continue. Then you enter the name of the pixel here, test 2. And then you press continue. Now, for each pixel, for it to track, you have to place the pixel code onto the company's, onto the client's website. And this will be another video, another workshop how to do this. But right now, we just got to close this. But essentially, after that has been verified, the pixel's then created. And I'll show you how it looks like when it's fully created. This is just something we should use briefly. And here it shows, the number of people, the total events that have occurred. Last see 20 minutes ago. So the number of people who have viewed a page, and it shows how they've been viewing it for the past couple of days. The people who view the content. Now, the type of content it is, you can look at and see, okay, it's here are the details, 6 parameters, writing. This is actually on the site. And this is what they're looking at. This is the content which they're reviewing. Now, if you go to the, where was I? The page view details. These were the pages in total. Now, if we scroll even further, we're now even getting to more nuances. Here it's invitee, event type. Essentially, what this means is the people who have booked a consultation. The ones where you say, the ones which show, you know, invitee, these here are all the ones, the actions which are taking to book a consultation with us. See active, so this is the actual meeting schedule. This is someone to select a day, someone to select a time. searching. Now, all this data is all good and it's all good to know, but what can we do with this data? That's a big question. What can we do with this data? What makes it super handy is we can then create, a custom audience, lookalike audience, an ad from this information. Now, in our strategy, in our walkthrough, so we're going to level 1, level 2. Level 2, we're tracking the people. We're tracking the people via, apologies. We're tracking the people via the Facebook pixel. X amount of people probably gone through the action and have purchased or viewed or have made have booked something on the client's website. Now, ideally, what we want is we want more of those type of people. We want more of the people who are actually taking the steps and booking a consultation. We want more of those people. So what we do here is we then go to create a lookalike audience. So you know how in level 1 we define a set audience based on maybe location, who we think the best people are, and the best sort of clientele. Here with lookalike audience, Facebook is finding the best type of people for you. And it's so what it does, it takes the data given. And the data given was the type of people who book consultations on your site. And then they then try and find the best type of people who would book a consultation on your site. But bear in mind, it's not telling you that these people will 100% do it. Just based off the data from this set of people who have, they're assuming that, okay, this cohort of people, because they're similar to these type of people, will convert higher. And to do that is quite simple. Click like audience, choose the account. Now, this is where it gets important because then you can select an event with a value. So we'll go to other event with value and you can choose view content, initiate checkout. It just shows about people who have added to cart. Let's say we'll go to view content. So this kind of shows the amount of people who have actually viewed our stuff, which incorporates the website, the course of the pages, also incorporates the free consultations. Now, these percentages here help you to find the audience size. So the higher the percent, the higher the 10%, that means there'll be a larger audience, but less accurate. 1% would be a much smaller audience than, let's say, to compare to the 10%, but you say it'd be much more accurate. Right now, we don't have enough data actually yet to even create a very concise and accurate lookalike audience, but essentially what you do is you just do that, then you do create an audience, then it will be saved. It'll be saved onto your ads manager, which means when you go back to create an ad, when you now go back to the same process, to the beginning process, to level 1, you use that level 1 post, use that level one post, and you use the lookalike audience which we created, and then we take those people through the same process. So the lookalike audience, okay, they're the ones who have engaged with that post. We save them and they become a custom audience. And from a custom audience, we track the activity when we take them through a call to action. Now the ones who have pushed through and actually successfully done what we told them to do, we then make another lookalike audience, and then the chain and then the circle continues. Just keep on refining it. And the more data you put in, the more accurate it gets, and therefore the higher the conversions. It's a very simple and straightforward strategy which yield results. And this would be a great way for you to adopt this technique onto clients who come your way asking for digital marketing or social media marketing assistance. So the way you sell it to them is you don't tell them everything. You just, because we're too complicated, you tell them just the level one, level two, level three. Take them through that step, that journey. Then you tell them, of course, there's more to it because it involves remarketing, the custom audiences, lookalike audiences, pixels. That would show that you're more expert in this area and grow your trust with the potential client with hopes of them actually using you to tackle their social media. And that being said, I touched upon this briefly in the beginning, but next week should be a good week because we have quite a few meetings with potential clients who want marketing done. And because for this past week, we've been advertising and speaking the skills you guys have. And yeah, they're interested. And the people who are interested are mainly African diaspora or, people international. And those are the people we want. So, but what that means is their standards are high. And because of their high standards, we have to make sure that you as a marketers are very aware of their standards and criteria. And no worries, because that's why we've created all this stuff, these workshops, why we're asking you guys to provide us weekly designs, because we know their standards. And when we tell you that you're there, it means you're there and you'll thrive. And they'll be so happy when they see your work. And so far, it has only been amazing reviews from the clients we've had. So that being said, that means a few of you may actually get an opportunity. Not all of you, but a few of you might. And that depends on quite a few things, the people who are going to be chosen. Because ultimately, we need to trust also you as a marketer that if we were to put you in the deep end straight away, that you'd have the confidence and we have the confidence in you, like with your designs and your strategizing and the marketing skills to actually fulfill what they want. And the best way to show that to us is by, being here in the workshops, engaging in the workshops, asking questions, sending us the weekly designs, so we can see your improvement as we go and seeing that will to learn, that will to move forward. Those are the really big driving factors which make us trust you more, make us have a confidence that if we put you with a client today, that you fulfill, you'll be there on time when they ask you to be there on time, you will deliver their work to very good quality. And yeah, just be in general, just a very, just a helpful hand. So there's so many of these potential, there's so many people out there who really want to see your work, who really want to especially see the work of African students, that especially. They really want to see your work. And that's why we're going to make sure it's the best. To make them want to come back and see your work and use your work even more. So I just wanted to mention that so to people to be alert that you may get a message next week with a possible job opportunity, which should be fun and should be interesting as well. So let me stop sharing. Do any of you two have any, because so far it's just you two, so thank you so much for coming. Do any of you two have any questions about the Facebook pixels, the custom audiences, the lookalike audiences, maybe even the strategy by itself, or just any questions in general? Do any of you have any questions? Oh yes, that's yeah. If you miss a couple of the classes, that's okay. They're all on YouTube. I can actually share the link. I shall share the link with you. So just give me a second. Okay, the link should be here. There we go. So that's the link to the YouTube that we have. That's where we put all our workshops that people have missed. So this one's also going to go up there as well after we finish this session, probably later on this week. Yeah. And that being said, also on Monday, there's going to be a new brief that's going to come out. So stay tuned and make sure to continue delivering the designs which you asked for, because we always get back feedback and we always review them and provide you examples and tell you how you can improve for next time. But in the meantime, we're also working on our side to create templates for you, because we do also understand that you're not graphic designers per se. Some of you may not have all the skills, but you have some skills, not all the skills. So we want to make your life also a little bit easier by creating some templates. So the level 1 post templates, level 2 post templates. So then for whenever you're asked to create a post, all you have to do is manipulate the template, add the logo, add different colors, different texts, and then you're kind of good to go. So that's what we're currently working on right now. So just stay tuned for that as well. But no, are there any more questions before we end the session here? Any more things we want to ask? Yes, my name is Lincoln. Actually, I should probably put it there instead of just age of 19. That'd be more helpful. But yes, my name is Lincoln. Is that the only question you have for me? Well, it seems like there's no more questions coming my way. So, although it's only two of you today, but yeah, thank you so much for coming. It was, a pleasure. And yeah, stay tuned for next week's workshop. So yeah, I hope you all have a great evening. Thank you for coming.